Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Verma, one of the primary roles of the Deputy Secretary for Management and Resources is to keep track and keep the department moving forward while it's staying on track. From here, it does not appear things are going well. I hope you can shed some light today on why things seem to be going so badly for an organization this committee has tried so hard to steer in the right direction. As I have spent time as both the chairman and ranking member of this committee over the past 5 years, I have pushed the department to rebalance its risk tolerance and be more forward-leaning in its overseas engagements. You've heard me say over and over again, we aren't going to outcompete China with our personnel sitting behind embassy walls. They need to get out. As part of this effort, I wrote and got enacted the Security Embassy Construction and Counterterrorism Act to help the department open new diplomatic spaces quicker and cheaper and to advance our diplomatic interest. More than 2 years later, SECA hasn't been implemented because the department hasn't issued final guidance. That failure to issue final guidance is in violation of law. This means the department can't deliver on its ambitious agenda to open new embassies in places where we are directly contending with China, like the Pacific Islands. If the department is going to take the threat from Beijing seriously, SECA guidance needs to go out tomorrow. I'm tired of the department slow-walking key reforms that would improve its efficiency and effectiveness. This administration constantly talks about its modernization agenda, but it is focusing on the wrong things if it can't get this right. It appears to many of us that the department under President Biden is more concerned with pursuing its own arbitrary DEI goals than results-focused efforts to modernize its operations and workforce. Similarly, bureaucrats at Maine State are micromanaging the U.S. Washington has put our ambassador there in a straitjacket by limiting the number of diplomats we can have on the ground and placing nonsensical travel restrictions on our own people there. Our experts on the ground should make these decisions, not folks sitting 5,000 miles away in Washington. These restrictions limit our effectiveness while also greatly reducing oversight of the assistance we send to the freedom fighters in Ukraine. This is not how you win a war. Most egregiously, the Rob Malley saga has spun wildly out of control. I have learned that Mr. Malley illegally transferred classified documents to his personal email, an exceptionally troubling allegation, and one I found out aside from the State Department, who we've been asking these questions to for months. Your department has failed to respond for months to repeated informal requests for information. We can't help but conclude there's an orchestrated effort to obscure the facts from Congress. It's not just me, some radical Republican. The chairman and I have done this side by side, and we have been incredibly frustrated with the response that we've gotten. In fact, it was embarrassing, really, the hearing that we had, a closed hearing, where we tried to extricate the information. And these people, I think, could have withstood a torture session before they would release the information. It was disgusting. We deserve to know whether Mr. Malley's crimes impacted U.S.-Iran policy, influenced nuclear discussions, or swayed the president's decisions to unfreeze cash for wrongfully detained Americans, or, importantly, misinformed us as we try to formulate foreign policy. We want answers to our questions about what he did, when he did it, and how much damage he has caused U.S. national security. We also deserve to know why he hasn't been prosecuted for mishandling classified documents. Finally, I want to underscore my disagreement with the department continually rewarding unqualified people with promotions and ambassadorial nominations. In November 2023, I sent a letter stating that I would not support moving any nominees complicit in the horrific treatment of U.S. diplomats in China during COVID-19. You have heard me preach about this over and over again on this committee about how badly China treated our diplomats during COVID and how the department did not protect our employees there. So I sent this letter on November 23 saying I'm not going to support anybody that was complicit. Well, lo and behold, somebody didn't read the letter, or maybe nobody read the letter, because Embassy Beijing Chargé and DCM David Meal was named in that letter. Last week, the president nominated him to be U.S. ambassador to Bangladesh. Now, I'm going to get beat up by my good friend here saying, now, how come you won't let us have a hearing? Why won't you? I told you in November of 23, find somebody else for these positions. Mr. Milley presided over some of the worst abuses of our diplomats. In summer 2021, the Chinese government stepped up its unlawful detention of American diplomats, unlawful detention of American diplomats, and put diplomats not in hospitals, but in container units with barred windows in overgrown fields outside major cities. The embassy did not try to get these people out, and they told U.S. diplomats to comply. No one who allowed a foreign adversary to treat U.S. diplomats this way should be a U.S. ambassador. In short, it seems like the department currently can't get out of its own way and focus on what really matters, which is advancing U.S. national security and keeping Americans safe. There are more than 75,000 State Department employees, good people, hardworking people. The vast, vast majority are who are doing very well. They're spread out across the globe, giving their blood, sweat, and tears to support this country. They deserve our best. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.